Hello Shep, I'll be fantastic today. In today's very stream, I want to share with you UPW part 3. How does our brain work? By the way, if you are curious why I have my green screen there, you can just go into my YouTube channel, pogodora DORA. Alternatively, just go into my own into my own profile, and there you can find my website link. You click on it, and voila, you get on the fifth one, and you are also onto my screen stream, YouTube stream. I do this also on YouTube. YouTube is 4K, better sound quality, and so on. And I'm playing about a little bit with OBS, so you might have more fun. Okay, so reshaper. Let's talk about how our brain's working, basically. Back in the days, I'm talking about what Tony Robbins said. Back in the days, I believe it was already in the 80s or maybe even in the 70s, because the book that I have read, Awakening to Giant Within, he's already talked about this experiment. There was an experiment in Harvard with monkeys. As always, we have monkeys or rats. And here we have monkeys. And there were the monkeys, the finger were moved mechanically. I'm not really for it. That monkeys are made doing those stuff, but this kind of monkey where the finger were moved mechanically 2k times 10,000 times. The finger were moved, not every single day, but along several days. So in total we got a number of 10,000 times, and after 10,000 times what started is we had a habit there. We had wired all this nerve system, so we have the habit of putting up the finger. The monkey did it then automatically. It got the habit. And after this, they started the interrupting process. And how they started the interrupting process? Pretty interesting. They did the same. Every time the monkey moves the finger, they have said, no, it's not good. They've shown something bad. And every time it goes down, the finger goes down, they are activated in a brain. They give them banana to eat, and activated in the brain of the monkey the cells which are responsible for pleasure, for intense pleasure. So every time the monkey was about to put up the finger, it was put it down by this mechanics that I've just told you, and gave them the pleasure. And this kind of intense pleasure is actually the trigger why after 24 times, just see relation. You have like 10,000 times to establish a freaking habit. So the monkey put up the freaking finger up, and here you have just 24 times. But because you have the intense sense of pleasure in the brain, this intense of stimulation, even it's a mechanic stimulation, the monkey got rid of this habit. What we learned from this experiment, we learned that when we have intense pleasure towards something, we can make the process of getting rid of the habit and putting out a new habit faster than going for the 10,000 time thing. Okay? This is one thing that I want to tell you. Really powerful insight with those monkeys and so on. And I just want to tell you that's 24 compared to 10,000. It's a lot less effort to do. However, now we come with this however. Every habit or pattern interrupt needs to be used. AKA, currently you listen to what I'm saying, and you might understanding it, but when you don't using it, what happens is it just disappears after time. And this is actually the biggest problem. Many people say like, okay, I want to have a habit. I do the 90 days challenge. You do the 90 days, and after the 90 days, what happens? You say, okay, I do nothing. Or you put yourself on occasions where you don't have to do this habit anymore. And what happens is, it would just decay. The habit will decay. And as it decays, it disappears, and then you don't have the habit anymore. You have to do again the 90 days challenge, for example. Of course, you don't have to. If you put intense pleasure towards you have to do that 24 times. It's a better deal than 90 days in a row, isn't it? And here, you have to understand that even after the 90 days, you have to continue it. You have to pursue it. You have to show persistence, and you have to show continuity. You have to continue it over and over again. This is really important to understand, because if you don't, remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Just write it down. And this is so true. This is so true. If you don't use any part of your body, you lose it. Simply. If you go for 90 days and have a big muscles, then you use it. However, when you just stop after 90 days and do nothing, you lose it. You don't have the muscles anymore. You might have the flesh, which is just hanging down, looks a little bit gross. However, you lose it. This is really important to understand. Now, our beliefs can do two things. They can make us or destroy us. Our beliefs can make us or destroy us. Literally. And I'm not talking about woohoo stuff. I'm talking about real stuff. Thank you for watching, Mom. Thank you for watching Reshaper, and thank you for watching people right now on Facebook and YouTube. And those things are really important to understand. I mean, I have also talked about in the past about, you might already know if you're in personal development, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. One of these works from Napoleon Hill, which most people are taking from to personal development. Of course, we have also a little bit different people who have done it, but Think and Grow Rich is the most popular one, right? When it comes to business books and personal development. Because it took more than 20 years to go over 500 entrepreneurs and so on. There are also stories. One story is a really, really powerful story I want to tell you. There was one guy, it is a true story. I'm not talking about woohoo stuff. I'm talking about true stories, okay? It's a true story. One guy. It was because his book was published in the 30s, maybe in the 20s. In 1920s, by the way, right? 1920s. It was published, and in the 30s was published. In the 20s, maybe it occurs. And this one guy, what happened with him? Basically, he said to himself over a period of time, of days, that I don't deserve to live. He has given himself this kind of beliefs, this internal beliefs that he don't deserve to live, that he deserves to die. And in fact, after this several days, the doctor came by and he was dead. Not because of he has eaten less, not because he hasn't really got him hurt or something like that, not he was murdered, nothing. It caused mental suicide. Mental suicide. And this happening when we have wrong beliefs. When those beliefs become such intense that it can kill us. This is a true story. I'm not talking about bullshit here. Now, there's another story. Because I don't want to leave you here on this dark note. I don't want to have you here on this kind of low vibration. No. Do you know the author, the writer of who has wrote, how's it called? Miracle Morning, the Miracle Morning equation, and so on. His name is Hal Elrod. You might not know him, but he is right now in the 40s and pretty popular among people who know him. He's also a speaker right now, a multimillionaire. But during his lifetime, he had 3 occasions where the most people will just given up on themselves. First one in his 20s. When he was in the 20s, he was like a really rich salesman. He was really popular in a Fortune 500 companies and so on. He has a girlfriend. He and his girlfriend just went from a speech, from a presentation with his new Ferrari or something like that, with a fancy car. And all of a sudden, what happened? A turn of events has happened. There was a truck driver who has fallen asleep and hits him frontal. It's a true story. This guy is still alive, by the way. He hits him frontal, direct into the front. Fortunately, his girlfriend, she left him afterwards. So she left him, but she wasn't that much injured. However, his whole body was paralyzed. And the first time, when he woken up, the first words what the doctor was telling to him, hey, you will never walk again. And hey, are you doing great? Yeah, your girlfriend has just left you, by the way, and you never will walk again. Just imagine, you have been just right now in a car incident. You don't feel your body, you feel yourself paralyzed. And the first words that you hear from a freaking doctor, you will never walk again. How many people will actually go against it? Try to strive against it. Many people will just really just cry the shit off of them and just accept this how it is and die. However, he was telling himself every single day, every single moment, he made a goal for himself, an intention. I don't know how. It's not a goal, it's an intention. I will walk home alone by Christmas. In his 20s, he had this kind of accident. He told every single day. And he did it. He walked home alone by Christmas. Now, in 2008, you might know, the economic crisis just struck. And even he had this big biz, it all went down, and he was like 100 millions in debts. Imagine. Everyone will give up. Some people will even commit suicide just by having those numbers. But he said to himself, dude, in my 20s, I was freaking paralyzed. My whole body was paralyzed, and I did it. Let's try it again. And guess what? He did it again. Now he's already in his 40s. In the beginning of his 40s, another thing has happened to him. The last stage of cancer, the so-called terminal cancer, the last stage of cancer, where people really just about to die, literally. He would say, dude, you have maybe 2 weeks to live. As the doctor said. And what he did is, again, he said to himself, I'm healthy, I'm freaking healthy. And this kind of affirmation, this powerful affirmations, with his intense feelings in his brain, was imagined, this pleasure that he get off and what he's doing afterwards, has made his terminal cancer to totally disappear from his body. He's still alive, he's a multimillionaire, he's a public speaker. Now, my question to you is, which of those intentions do you choose? Do you choose the one who will make you suffer for the rest of your life. It might even give you the last strike to be even dead by a mental suicide. Or no matter what the fuck happened with you, you will just strive your ass off. No matter what, you don't give up. You say to yourself, there's still something to do. I can still do it. There's no way I can't do it. I can still do it. It is still possible. When you say to yourself such words, your body will reply. Because then your body will feel the love in this world, in these words you are giving to it, and it will respond better than you can imagine ever. Better than can you ever imagine. This is really, really fundamental thing. So have these bold stories in your mind every single time you've tried to suffer, because you can't be just in two states. You can be in a beautiful state where you feel high energy, you feel good, or you can be in a suffer state and just suffer. Do you want to suffer your whole life? Yes or not? You can choose. Now, those bold stories weren't explained by Tony Robbins. I have just picked them up because for myself, I wanted to have something really extreme. And the most extreme that I can think of is the first story, of course, with mental suicide. And the second one, I mean, whole Elrod. I mean, dude, he overcome 3 times those things which people don't overcome in their life. Those 3 of pitfalls, he has just mastered them. Just get out of them. This is just amazing. So I put on those stories instead of, so a little bit mixed up. If you're curious if Tony Robbins has talked about the stories, he hasn't. He has talked about the story with the monkeys though, but not about the stories of Hall Elrod and the story which were told by Napoleon Hill. Now, we all have something. We all have something that is called emotional home. Hey, thank you for watching. We all have something that calls emotional home. What is emotional home? Well, basically, again, I'm not talking about something boohoo stuff. It is a part in your brain. It is a part in your heart. It's kind of rewired with this kind of, it's really complicated. Nervous system, which is rewired, brain, heart, and other particles, and you can't see it biologically. Yeah, you can see it, but it's really, really tiny. It's really small. This emotional home is actually the home or the base where all your emotions, all your feelings, all your desires are made. Where they're born. This is a born place of all your emotion, all your feelings, all your beliefs are made. This is actually a thing. Now, when you know this place, what would you do? That's my question to you. Because if you know this place, and by the way, everything that we are kind of memorizing, especially as kids, we're memorizing those things as stories. Now, when you can literally, in your mind, go through the thing into the stories, and you can do it through Like you can use things like hypnosis. You can not just woohoo hypnosis, but really true, but this hypnosis where you can, for example, you use the hypnosis of this guy, Michael Newton. It's really powerful hypnosis. You can go into your past lives and so on, and your embryonal state and so on, fetus state, and you can actually go to those things. But you have to work with it. You have to really work with it. It's not something like you do it once and then, hey, everything is fine. No, dude, no. It's all about work, about mental work. And when you are going in this hypnosis, going to the states, going into this past, into this home of your emotions, your emotional home, you can see those stories, the core of those stories. And when you see those stories, you might feel something. And I just want to, when you are in those stories and see those stories, I want you to go and not just feel it, but also be more objective. What kind of feelings I feel, what kind of things I see, and what I taste, what is the smell, and so forth. You determine those things. You see exactly what those things are. You go back and write those down. Because when you don't have this written down, you done just nothing. You have just done, you have just wasted time in this hypnosis. Now, you're doing those practices, you're doing this hypnosis. I've already taught you some techniques, like things. By the way, I'm also currently not working on hypnosis, but I think current course, when I finish the current course, I want to go to another course about masculine power, and then I want to start the hypnosis stuff, because it's really powerful thing, especially when you can really dig down into your past lives, into your past, get rid of the karma and stuff like that. I mean, it sounds again woohoo, right? I'm not talking about woohoo. This is really true stuff, because there are people in the US who has done it. There are even institutions that even some schools that are teaching you how to get in this kind of states, how to find those things. And when you change those stories, with some of those practices, you can rewire your brain. And again, changing your stories doesn't mean you have changed it just once and everything is fine. No, you have to work on it. You have to work on the change. Same as they did with the monkey and put the pleasure towards it, that the monkey doesn't put up the finger. Same you have to do every single day. Put pleasure towards those stories. I mean, you cannot put yourself like on a point on your brain and say, cool, now I feel pleasure. No, it's a little bit ridiculous, right? Therefore, you want to imagine those pleasure. You have to maybe go into this state. Go on, like when you have Antonio Robbins, you can just go into YouTube, just type in like going to the state exercise. You can do like prime exercise. Just type in priming, going to the state, or the thing like incantation. Do those exercises. Maybe you can do before things like kinergy. Like do this aerobic stuff with meditation combined. When you do those practices on daily basis, especially maybe this 24 days, or how many was it? For 24 days, 24 times, with this intense pleasure. What you have to aim is not just doing it every single day. It is doing it with intense pleasure. And for this intense pleasure, you have to feel it with your whole body. To feel it with your whole body, you have first off move your body, to get this energy, because if your energy is low, you cannot get intense pleasure, full stop. And you can higher your energy through what? Movement. Energy is movement. You have to move. You have to pick up your ass and move it. And as McClinton, how's it called? Joseph McClinton III would say, move your ass. Okay, shake that ass. This is what should you do, because there you can, when you shake your hips, shake your ass, and your endorphins will push up, will go up, and then you can go into the stage. Do this exercise. Don't do this exercise just when you feel bad. Never do those exercises when you feel bad, because those exercises don't bring you something. Do when you feel bad, do the state exercises, bring your state up, bring your energy up, and then do those things. Then you will get the outcome you want to have. Otherwise, you feel like, okay, this is meditation. I did this stuff. I gonna even to the Sacred Sages Council or something like that. But nothing will happen. Nothing will happen until you don't go there with a high energy, with intense energy in the first place. And the second place is when you don't put what you have learned from them into action, into really true action. And it's the main thing. It sounds so simple. It might, for some of yours. For some of yours, it might be really hard. But the hardest thing is to start. It's really to start. And because there are many, many things. Currently, right now, you can get so much knowledge from everywhere. From courses. Some courses are even for free. Some seminars and so on. I mean, there's so beautiful time right now. I mean, people are complaining, blaming, justifying that they're sitting at home doing nothing. You have chosen to do nothing. You have just chosen it. Because you can do something. You can do something. Use your brain. I have given you already the resources, the sources where you can find out. YouTube is your best resource, actually. All the things that I'm talking to you about, you can basically find it also on YouTube. I just kind of put some good bits together and then put them together. And also I will talk about, of course, UPW tomorrow too. Because it was a really intense thing. And I want you to, even you haven't been there, I want you to kind of have at least this mental, that you know, at least this knowledge. I want you to have at least this knowledge how to use it. And okay, it's up to you if you use it or not. But if you use it, you will get actually the return. And of course, when you use it, when you go directly to UPW, when the coronavirus is over and you jump there with Tanya Robbins and everyone, it's even more intense. And if you have this money and time, I will recommend you for sure, 100%. I want to recommend you to be there. But I don't want to recommend you for someone who doesn't have. Therefore, I provide for those who don't have this kind of time and money. I provide it. At least you have the information what it is. At least you know what kind of things you can get from just to be at UPW. I haven't purchased now things like, because Tony Robbins had also upsells, like as every coaching, right? Currently he has also upsells, and he has, I think, the largest upsells. His first freebie starts from 0 and it goes to, I mean, his coaching is 1 million per year. So if you can afford it, there you are. You have the best coach in the world. And if you want to give it a shot, you can do it. I mean, if you have it. I don't have those kind of, I'm not much realistic stuff right now. So also didn't had the money directly to go from Day with Destiny, which is actually 6 days in a row. Same thing as UPW, but more intense, more profound knowledge from the best world best coaches, world best people, which is really transforming. And then you have also this kind of business thing, which is a little less than the Day with Destiny, but it is kind of, if you see the prices are pretty intense, especially in this day and age. And not everyone can afford. Therefore, I want to give you that. I mean, I have been there, and I just give you the information for free. Of course, you can get information also somewhere else, but it might take you more time to make some research. Okay, what is UPW? What is kind of information we have? Okay, then have to put this knowledge together, this polish, and this. You can do it. I mean, if you have fun on it, sure, you can do it and go more deep inside of it that I'm even telling you. However, I'm here to share with you those kind of things that I have, this knowledge that I have, and this mentality that I am building on, because I'm not finished with it, and I don't think I will ever be finished. Same goes for Tony Robbins. I mean, even he isn't finished with his powerful mentality. Even he is very powerful. Even people like Hal Elrod are still working on this process of mentality, because simply we have been conditioned to those things, and I don't want to be you. If you watch myself, I don't want you be a freaking victim of your life. I want you to be the winner of your life, the owner of your life. I want you to own your life. I want you to get back your own ownership of your whole life, because many people say, okay, I own my life. Do you really own your life? Yeah, I own my life. Okay. When I say, can you go with me, like, have you time next week? No, I don't have. I really own your life? You don't. Simply because you don't have time. Of course, it is a matter of priority. However, people who are telling you they are owning your life and don't have time in a week, it is not owning. Owning life means you are living your life on your own terms. This is what owning life means. There are people like, not Gary Vee, but people like real estate. Greg Cardone, Greg Cardone. I mean, those guys, right? They never pick up the phone because they don't want to have. I mean, this is just most of these phone calls, when people are calling them, they just don't do it. They also don't reply to emails. Simple, because either way someone else can do it. They outsource it, those kind of things, or you just say, okay, you're just robbing my time. And this is the biggest problem of our society, that people don't understand how valuable your time is. Every single second that you watch myself, if you watch, you could do something else. Every single thing you're doing, you can do something else. If we see every single second is a gift, the most precious gift in your life, then we start to make the shift. Watch your seconds. I mean, if you value Netflix, you can do it. But if you don't value it, why the hell doing you? I mean, I'm also guilty. I'm watching YouTube so much, but not every time, but not always, like, sometimes even educational stuff, but sometimes also when I feel like I have to rest, so I watch 1-2 videos, which is also a waste of time, of course. I'm also guilty of it. However, I'm also doing other stuff. This is really important to remember yourself. Don't beat you up. Don't beat you up. Just stop beating you up. And do how you feel. And not just how you feel, but how you want to feel. And how you want to feel is, first of all, shake your ass. You feel the endorphins, you feel better state, and then you ask yourself, how do you want to feel? When you feel better, okay, cool. What do you want next? I'm giving you the tools. The only one who can use those tools are you. Use them. Use them. because they are freaking powerful. Reshaper, I hope you get some value from it. If so, smash the like button. Give me maybe some response, like, do you like it, do you not like it, what should I change? Maybe I should shave my beard again or something like that. I don't care, but just write something down below and I will respond to it. Also, if you feel like there's so much value that you can share it with your friends, do so. It will also help myself and give me more encouragement to do such videos. Also, if you want to watch the same video and don't want to scroll through my Instagram or Facebook, I have it also on my YouTube. You can just go and watch it too. I hope you have an awesome day, and as always, do not let yourself to passion now. See you tomorrow. And by the way, I want to make a shout out to my mom, to Payman, and to reshaperacademy, and to Sasaki Shio-san. Thank you very much.